Well, good morning. How are you all today? And welcome to Integrated Preparedness. Let's talk about CBDC. Is it evil? Is it here? Is it both? I'm not making light of it because it is a serious situation, but I think a lot of uh, false information is being spread out there in the internet, and a lot of people are falling for it, and a lot of people are getting all upset and getting their panties in a wad. And the danger of that is that being upset about this and not understanding the truth of the matter takes a person away from concentrating on what they need to be concentrating on right now. Okay, why do I say this? Oh, should I say a couple of things here? By the way, all the information for the summer integrative preparedness / Stonemont gathering in Kansas, in eastern Kansas, is on the Patreon side. Come join us if you'd like. It's going to be on July 13th. It's going to be a great time. A lot of people. I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of folks. We're sold out of books. Again, I want to keep saying that until we get the new load in. People say, well, you're sold out of books. Does that mean I can't order anymore from you anymore through the website? No, it doesn't mean that at all. You can still order my books through the website. It's down below, stonemont.us. It just means that your order will be on back order until I get the new load in, and that should be coming in a couple of weeks. So feel free to continue to order through the website. You'll get them, just take a little while. And if you need them right away, order through Amazon, and that link is down below too. Okay, CBDC. I've had so many, this is not a new subject. And I would say that most people in the preparedness community, as it were, are probably aware to one degree or another of what's coming along with a CBDC. If you're not, it's a central bank digital currency. Now, there's an important delineation there, and I think that a lot of people are being misled because they don't understand this, and that is there's two parts to that. Digital currency is one thing, okay? Digital currency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these kinds of things. I'm not comfortable in using them or investing in them yet. I'll say that right up front. I think that anything to where all of my money can disappear from one person making a wrong keystroke, and don't tell me that it can't happen. I'm not comfortable with that unless the day comes that I'm forced to do it. And then what are you going to do? We'll get to that. What are you going to do here in a little bit? But that's one part of it, the digital currency. The other part is central bank. Okay. And that's where I think a lot of people are being misled. I got a bunch of messages just yesterday saying, did you hear about the bill that, or was it the day before? Doesn't matter. Did you hear about Congress signing the bill to establish a central bank digital currency? And I said, well, no, I didn't hear about that. Where'd you hear about it? And they said, well, I heard it on this YouTube channel. They just established the House just passed a bill to become law to make central bank digital currency start. It must have been several days ago because I mentioned this yesterday, and I said, well, I don't think that that's right. Okay, I don't believe that's right. I haven't heard anything from a legitimate source on that, and so as I told some of you, I called a friend of mine who is head of digital security or whatever, at a major bank system. And not a guy down at the corner bank or a small town bank. It's a major bank system, a regional bank. I says, hey, what are you hearing about? You guys doing anything with the CBDC? He says, no. He says, no. It's just, he says, there's a bunch of stuff in the news about it. A lot of it's misleading. He says, but no, there is nothing, absolutely nothing going on. Now, am I saying that it will never happen? No, I'm not. And I want to say this right here, that it is one of my biggest concerns. One of my biggest concerns, and it should be yours too, but it is a long-term concern. Okay. And it is something that may or may not happen. And that's the important thing to keep in mind. If you really are serious about preparedness, you want to be dealing with realities, not unfounded fears. Okay. And that's what I stress here on this channel. This is not about getting all upset about the latest doomer porn. It's about, oh my gosh, this is this and this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Have you ever noticed that they never tell you what you should be doing about it? Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. No, it's just a matter of being scared. It's not a matter of, you need to be scared about that. Well, you might need to be concerned about it long term, but let's talk about this reasonably, okay? Okay. So I did some more checking. And apparently, now either of these people are, let me give them the benefit of the doubt. I won't say that they are knowingly passing on untruth. Let me just say that they apparently don't understand what's going on, okay? And I'm sorry if this takes the buzz off of a few of you. No, I'm not. I just told one person in a comment, I said, back away from the ledge, man. Come on. I mean, no, I want you to be out there preparing successfully. And that means preparing with an even keel, an even mind. Do it right. Don't do it out of fear. So anyway, I did some more checking, and sure enough, no, it was not at all. It's not at all what happened. Congress didn't pass a bill establishing a CBDC. As a matter of fact, it was exactly the opposite. I'm going to read that to you in just a second. But did you also know, for instance, DeSantis has just put forward a plan to make a CBDC illegal for use in Florida. How about that? And Texas and other states. I think there's other states doing this too. Texas has forwarded a plan to establish a Texas gold-backed. Now, I don't care much about gold-backed. I know a lot of people do. The value of something is whatever somebody else will give for it. Okay, so people get, and I'm going to throw in a little bit of financial information here. That's going to get a few people going, no, that's not right, but it is right. Okay, gold has no intrinsic value. The only value that gold has, I know, I just upset a whole bunch of people, but you all need to learn, okay? I don't say that, I kind of learn. If what I say upsets you, think, I wonder if that's right. Let me look into it, and you will come away a little smarter, okay? Hey, I'm not saying that I'm all that. What I'm saying is that I'm 70 years old, and I've been paying attention for 50, okay? And so I am not, this is not a new thing for me, okay? This is about my 90th rodeo. I've seen this come and go. And I, like I said, for the people that I've taken the buzz off and I took away the thing that they wanted to be scared about today, hey, stop being scared of this stuff and get your mind on proper preparedness that is not only going to prepare you to withstand what really happens in the future, but it's going to improve your life now. Okay. So anyway, getting back to this, what I said, gold has no intrinsic value is any more than a so-called fiat currency is. The value of something is established by what somebody else will give you for it. That's it. Money can be. It's not really gold. I mean, go down and try to buy something at the grocery store with some gold. Okay, it's not going to work. You can buy, money has been bills. It has been, who's calling? Okay. It has been bills. It has been stones. It has been seashells. It has been tobacco. It has been salt. It's been all sorts of things. It's a medium of exchange. Okay, now, but speaking of Texas and some other states, I think, they are in the process of, they're looking into establishing a state gold-backed digital currency, okay, like a Bitcoin or a Texas coin or a BitTex or TextBit or I don't know what form it's going to take, but they're looking at it. Now let me take you to where this misunderstanding started, and And like I say, I'm going to give these guys the benefit of the doubt and assume that they're not purposely lying on this, that they just don't understand. So, whereas many of you have been told that the House passed a bill establishing the groundwork for a for a central bank digital currency, a CBDC. Okay, exactly the opposite happened. Okay, let me read. This is from the Hill. House passes bill barring the Federal Reserve from issuing a digital dollar. Okay. The House passed a bill Thursday barring the Federal Reserve from issuing a central bank digital currency unless it is an explicit authorization from Congress. And somebody will say, "See, Steve, that's what that they're saying, that unless they are explicitly giving permission from Congress, they're not saying not to do it. They're just saying that we're going to do it." No, that is not it. Stop jumping to these ridiculous conclusions. Now, long term, maybe we're going to get to that, okay? We're going to get to that. The CBDC Anti-Surveillance State Act passed the chamber by a 2016 to 192 vote, almost entirely along partisan lines. That's why voting is important, guys, for all the people out there that say, "I'm not going to vote. Voting doesn't matter." Hey, voting is how the other side wins. But if you won't do it, if you won't show up for the game, hey, it's on you, right? The rest of us will have to suffer for it. So the move is largely symbolic, as the Fed has not put forward plans to issue a CBDC and has repeatedly emphasized that it would not move forward without congressional approval. That's right. Okay, how about that? Does that satisfy you, or are people still going, well, no. That's a rhetorical question. Of course people are still going to go, yes, but. Listen, guys. You need to be concerned about what's really going on and what is the immediate threat. And this kind of junk is meant to sound scary, to sound important, to make whoever talks about it sound intelligent, because, anytime you talk about finances, it's easy to sound, well, no, some sound pretty stupid when they get outside their lane, but, you can sound really intelligent, and people like to listen to that. Let me back up here and come around. Let me circle back here. Do I think that a CBDC is a major concern? Yes, I think it's absolutely dangerous. I think it is one of the biggest concerns that we have. Okay, now, and I'll explain that in a little. Do I think that it's evil? Along with this stuff it's the mark of the beast. Okay, let's think about this for a moment. Is it the mark of the beast? Just because people say it doesn't make it so. Okay? Really? I mean, seriously. I know as much about the mark of the beast as probably most of the people out there. And people have been seeing the mark of the beast in things since 70 AD. Are you familiar with that? Yes, that's right. That's right. This is the mark of the beast. That's the mark of the beast. This is the mark of the beast. That's the mark of the beast. Depends a lot on what kind of church you go to as to what you think there. Those of you who have really studied the Bible know what I'm talking about. Those of you who haven't, I would suggest to you do. Stop being scared of everybody that tells you that something is the mark of the beast. Now, mark of the beast, and his number is, the number of his name shall be 666. It will be put on your right hand or your forehead. Okay, digital currency. And they'll say, yes, but it's going to be implanted in your right hand or your forehead. Okay, I can't argue with somebody who is going to continue to go down that path. It might. The thing is this, I don't know, you don't know. You don't know. Okay? You don't know. So is it evil? Well, it very possibly could be used for evil. It very possibly also is simply the next step in technology. However, and sometimes technology serves a good purpose, right? In many cases, it does not. My concern, I am absolutely, lest anybody misunderstands, I am absolutely against a CBDC. I think it poses the biggest danger that we've seen in any situation for a long time. It is about total surveillance, total control. It is the way that they want to enslave and control people and hold them within their 15-minute cities and control what they eat. And who knows? You'll wake up in the morning. This is a dystopian thing, but how often do we see those things come true, right? 1984, anybody? So you wake up in the morning and your bed that is hooked into everything in the world weighs you, and it says that at your height and your weight, you're 2 pounds overweight. And so you go to the store and you say, you get your groceries and it says, beep, beep, beep. No, I'm sorry, you can't have that ice cream. You are 2 pounds overweight this week. And so you will not be allowed to buy that ice cream or those chips or that Diet Coke or whatever. Yes, diet drinks make you fat. For all those people who drink diet drinks, thinking that they're doing themselves well, you'd do a lot better just drinking regular stuff. You'd do a lot better to drink water. Get off all that stuff. So, nope, you can't do that, and it's going to control everything that you do. And the whole thing about a central bank digital currency is that it doesn't have to go from one vendor to another, okay? And it would do away with credit cards. Some people say, well, that's great. Do away with credit cards. People who think that you ought to do away with credit are people who use credit improperly. Got in trouble with credit cards. Let me throw something out there again. I'm going to do one about the proper use of credit. Does that surprise people? But Steve, the Bible says neither a borrower nor a lender be, and it says that the borrower is slave to the lender. That's right. That's right. Okay. There are ways to use credit properly. I'll get into that another time. I'm not going to get into that. Just because Dave Ramsey doesn't like them doesn't mean it's right? So the thing about that, it would do away with all credit cards. Okay. You're not able to borrow money. What does that do for business? Do you realize that business runs entirely on pretty much? I mean, a lot of business runs on borrowed money. What does that do with business? It's almost impossible to take this to its farthest extent without having total control of business, which you can argue whether that's fascism or communism. There's not much difference. Okay. And hold on, just somebody's calling me. Okay, sorry. I'm in my office and it's Saturday morning and somebody wanted me. So this is going to be total control of business. Okay. It's going to be total control of everything that you have. It's almost going to be impossible to have a CBDC long term without a universal basic income. And what that does essentially is, of course, everybody gets their money. How they figure that, who knows, right? By the way, somebody asked me asked me to explain the monetary system in the Stonemont series. Well, it'd be read the books. Read the books. It's all about, how exchange of goods and services happens and how you keep track and how you make those changes. As simple as can be. Whether we will get there, probably not until everything crashes. Who knows? So without a universal basic income, it's going to be very difficult to put in a CBDC long term. It won't be difficult short term. Okay? They might try to bring it in. But the thing is this. So I think it is one of the biggest dangers we have. Okay? I've established that. It could be evil. It could be the precursor to the mark of the beast. That doesn't mean that it is. And when I see the comments about it's the mark of the beast, I see that person, that commenter, as a non-thinking person. I don't mean to be unkind, but it's just, a thoughtful person usually says, well, I think this, or I think it could be, or I think it could be this, and I think it could be that. It's the unthoughtful person that says, such and such and such and such. I see life in black and white. Well, there are some things you should see in black and white, right versus wrong, good versus evil, stuff like that. But most of life is in shades of gray. And what's going to happen is not within anybody's ability to see. Simple as that. So you don't know what's going to happen, neither do I. So my point for all of this is stop. Be careful who you listen to, number one. Be careful who you listen to. I hear a lot of horrible advice in the prepper world. Horrible advice by people who really don't know what they're talking about. And my purpose for teaching and preparedness, my purpose in writing the Stone Mountain series, my purpose for doing this is trying to share good information with people, information that will improve their lives and actually help them to prepare for what is probably coming, which is a huge collapse, in the right way, in a non-fearful, responsible way that helps not just them be ready for that, but improve their lives now. Okay, that's my purpose. So my message here is be careful who you listen to. And when you hear something that concerns you, doesn't mean that it's not necessarily right, but look into it. Say, instead of just swallowing it whole and then going out and telling everybody, hey, did you hear this and did you hear that and everything? Say, let me look into this. Is this true? You'd be surprised how often you'll find out it's not. But it did get you all wound up, right? Got you all wound up and antsy for the day and scared and talking to people about this. Hey, if you're working against an enemy, you would like them to be fearful and confused, right? You might think about who thinks of you as the enemy. Well, we know, right? The system. The system thinks of you and I, and me, to be grammatically correct, as the enemy. They want you. They want us to be confused, to be fearful, to have so many things that we're afraid of that we're bouncing around all over the place. We can't keep track of any one thing. Don't do that. Don't let that happen to you. Okay, keep your eye on the ball. Now, I said I was going to talk about. Let me pose this as a question. If CBDC is coming, what are you going to do about it? Now, I'm serious. Can you answer that question? What are you going to do about it? And people will say, well, Steve, you're supposed to tell us what to do about it. Well, I'd rather you think for yourself. But the first thing is the thing that I say every day. Every time I make a video, I say, you need to separate yourself from the system. Now, some people misunderstand that. Did I say separate from the cities? No. I tell you, hey, and I don't mean that, here again, people misunderstand what a city is. I'm not talking about the hood, right? I'm talking about the very affluent city, suburbs, okay? That's where the money is. If you separate yourself from there, you're going to financially cripple yourself. And your financial strength is what's so important here. You need to be able to put together a life and a lifestyle that will enable you to live well separate from all those external interrelated systems over which you have little or no control. And the best way to do that is make more money. And I just said something that just is horrible in the eyes of many who consider themselves preppers. It's not about making money. It's about being able to fix my tractor with a pocket knife. Okay, be my guest. Be my guest. But that's not a quality life here and now. And you want to increase your ability to separate yourself from the system. Live in the system. It's like the Bible teaches, like Jesus taught. Okay? Be in the world, but not of it. You're supposed to be living in the world, right? But not of it. Not living according to its weirdness, right? So what you should do about it is simply prepare yourself. Make all the money you can. I know that that's just terrible. That's the thing that people don't want to. You know why people don't want to think about making money? I'll tell you why. Because they don't think they can do it. Because they've never done it. And I don't say this meanly, because if I try to talk to people all the time, and I try to get them to do this. Do better in life. Do better. And a lot of that has to do with making more money. Well, money's not the most important thing in the world. No, it's not, but it's what the world runs on, okay? The direction of the good Lord, many other things, our spiritual direction, and then money. You need to increase your ability to make money now to strengthen your financial situation so that if and when a CBDC does happen, you have pretty much everything you need. You are situated where you want to be. You have everything you pretty much need, and you have kept up on this enough so that you might continue to be able to live within that CBDC financial environment without taking the mark, and do well. Usually people do a lot better living within a system than outside a system. You're cut off from too many things. And you see, that is the essence of preparedness. People think that that's not preparedness. Yes, it is. But it's not the kind of preparedness that a lot of people think of, which is being able to live with nothing. Okay? But as long as there's things here, if you can't make the best of those things, if you can't access and exploit the opportunities that are available to you in the world around you, that is not good preparedness. Yeah, I know I've been a little direct on this today, but that's what I am. That's what I do. I tell the truth. I tell it like it is. I know that it smashes many bubbles, but I don't want people to live in a bubble. I want them to live in the real world and do well, take care of themselves and their families. So, the whole thing there is don't be fearful of this. And the next time somebody comes up with this, which is going to be tomorrow, I'm sure, and the next day, be afraid of this. Instead of just being afraid and going, oh my gosh, did you hear about this? Your first thought should be, okay, let's say that that's true. What am I going to do about it? Now, the thing is, you're not going to be able to do anything about it. You're not going to be able to change it. But your question is, what am I going to do to enable me and those who depend on me to live well within that threat environment? Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Good. Be careful what you listen to. Okay. And think for yourself and do better every day. That is the essence of preparedness. Do better every day. Okay, listen, remember, books are on back order. Feel free to continue to order through me if you'd like to on the website, stonemont.us. You'll be on back order. We'll get them to you in a few weeks. If you want them right away or faster, you can do it through Amazon. That link is also down below. On Amazon, you can get them paperback or Kindle or Audible, whatever you want. And you can, well, that's all right, whatever. And the information on the gathering is over on the Patreon channel. If you're not with us on Patreon, the link is down below. You ought to be. You'll get a lot more information over there. And remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. Don't be afraid of this stuff. Just think about what you're going to do. Prepare for it, okay? And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.